Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. My name is Sadia and I'm from beautiful British Columbia, Canada. In my channel today, I am going to continue with the second part of our video about plantain uses and benefits. And in today's video, I am going to share with you guys how to make plantain syrup and oil. If this is your first time watching my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, and press the bell icon to receive more videos like this. In my channel, I will share my knowledge and experience about medicinal herbs, plants, fruit, vegetable, and spices for educational purpose only. With the will and name of our God, let's start today's video, which is all about how to make plantain syrup and oil at home. To make a plantain syrup, I used for this recipe 4 cups of water, and I add the water in the pan, and of course I turn on my stove. The beginning I did add, as you can see here, 4 cups of water, but later on I add another 3 cups of water. And also for this 7 cups of water, I used actually, when you add all of these leaves together, it will give you 1 full cup of, when you squeeze the plantain leaf in a cup, so it gives you full tight cup of plantain leaves, or 1.5 cups of loose plantain leaves. Also to this one I add 3 tablespoons of the dandelion dry flowers. Both of them are really good and there's lots of medicinal benefits, so I add them together, and I will let you guys know today and why I make this syrup. But let's see what I'm adding in this one. So first of all, I'm adding sugar. This is not a regular sugar. When you're making a syrup, especially for medicinal purpose, make sure you use the natural sugar. Like here, I'm using the monk fruit sugar. I will gonna write down the name in the description, and also where you can find this sugar. It's a little bit pricey, but not very much, but it's a very good sugar. And if you're making something beneficial for your body, it's better to use this sugar instead of the other sugar. But this sugar is not going to be thick very fast, so I have to add something else in it. Well, you see it to the in the middle of it after I'm adding these spices. So here I'm adding the cloves, a few of them, like it was around 12 cloves, around 10 of the cardamom, a few stick of cinnamon I add. They are good for flavors, they are good for digestive, they're all related together, but you cannot add a lot of it. So to give it a nice flavor, I add those ones. And here I'm adding a 3 anise star, and that's really good for you, and it's gonna give a very nice flavor, like a licorice to it. So let them mix them first together, because we don't want the sugar sit at the bottom, and we're gonna start let it boil. When it's in a halfway boiling, you're gonna add a cup of honey to it. The reason I am adding the honey in it, like I said before, the monk fruit sugar is not going to be really going to be hard, or what they call, like a sticky together very fast, or thick. So to make it a thick syrup, you need to add honey in it, and of course honey is always better than the regular sugar. And of course, when you're adding the honey in the coffee, in a hot tea or a hot water, they will lose the nutrition value of it, but at least it will be better than the other sugars. So here, when I add them together, now what I do, I'm gonna let it boil and boil till I see my water is sticky enough, thick enough, that it gave you the texture of the syrup. You don't need to put them really thick, but you make sure when you touch them together with your 2 fingers, they will stick in your finger. Um, Once in a boil a little bit, like maybe here I think I'm boiling it after, not the beginning, after start boiling. It's been almost 7 to 10 minutes is boiling, and now I remove the cinnamon from it and the star anise from it. So I take him out, and I'm not gonna throw him out. I'm putting in a bottle that later on I will gonna drop my syrup in it. So why I am making this syrup? The reason is this, because this plants, you can find them usually in spring or a mid summer, and especially when you collect them in the spring, they are fresh, they have more value in it. So, and also same thing with dandelion. When you collect them and you don't like to have the tea from it, because the texture of the flavor or the smell of it is very strong, so some people, they don't like it. What I do, I make this syrup, I keep it at home, because this one has a lots of benefits for your digestive system, for your inflammations, for some kind of cramps, and for cough, for some for example, if you guys have some kind of infection. So this is really good for you. And of course, like I said, you don't want a tea from it. What you do, you can have your regular tea, and you just put starting from 1 teaspoon of this syrup in your tea to 1 tablespoon, and that's gonna work really good. But remember one thing, when we are using this syrup as a medicinal reason, make sure you use it only the time you need it. Once when you notice you have a problem and you want to use the syrup, use it when you notice that your problem is gone, so you don't need to use it again. Maximum, we are using the medicinal herbs from the time the problems happen all the way to 7 days or 8 days, and it wouldn't gonna work. And after that, we don't need to use it all the time. But if you are a person that you have a non-stop problems like inflammations and joint pain or arthritis, either it's a rheumatoid or a osteo, so you can have it every single day, as long as you're not going to exceed more than 6 grams. Again, you're going to make the syrup, put them in your pantry somewhere which is cold. You don't need to keep them in a fridge somewhere that's dark and cold. You put them there, and anytime you need it, you use it. But make sure, if you're using it, so go up to 7 days. Do not stop in the middle. When you notice that your problem is gone, you cannot stop. So you continue at least for 7 days or something. But I promise you, after 4 times using it, you will see the difference. And again, for taking this one, you do not stop your medication. Whatever the doctors prescribe you, continue taking that, and this is something on top of your medication. And plantain is a kind of herbs that's really easy. It's not gonna reject your medication benefits. It will give you more benefits on top of the medication that the doctors prescribe it to you. So here, once when we boil it really good, before it become thick, so what I do, I am slowly going to remove all these plantains and cardamoms or whatever stuff I put in. I'll just start taking them out, and I'm gonna let the syrup to start boiling and become thick by itself. So again, like I said, plantain is good for the lots of things. You can keep them dry in your jars or bottles somewhere in your cabinets, and you can make a tea from it anytime you want. You can make an oil from it, which the oil of plantain has lots of benefit. We're going to talk about it too. And then you can make it as a syrup, because it's going to stay for long with you. And you can just, if you make a jar of 500 ml, believe me, that will going to continue. If you're using it for 1 or 2 person, it will going to stay for long, at least 3 months or 2, 3 months or 4 months. You can have it in your cabinets because you need only one teaspoon of that. Like in the major cases, we're gonna go with 1 tablespoon. But the beginners, some people that they like to use it for the first time, you can use only 1 teaspoon of this syrup. You can also add this syrup while, for example, you're making a cake or any kind of pastry. You're gonna say, you know what, I want to have a little bit of this syrup. You can add that one in it too. Some people actually they bake with it, like they make a lot of the syrup and they keep it at home, and every time when they are baking, instead of using the regular sugar and stuff, they use this one. Of course, not for all kind of baking. Sometimes we want to make a special cake or any other pastries that they want to use it in regular days, so they can add this. And I saw this one also, some people they use this one completely, they don't use any sugar, they use this syrup because it has a cinnamon and all the licorice flavors in there. It's a cardamom, and by itself the smell of the plantain and smell of the dandelion flower is also really good. So they like to use it on their pastry, which you can try. You can add a few spoons for the flavor inside your pastry when you make cake or banana bread or zucchini bread, any of those kind of things that you guys want to make. You can add the syrups in it. So as you can see here now, I already separate the plantains and all the other ingredients I had in. I separate them all. I take them all out. I squeeze the water, and after, when you're removing those things and you're adding your honey in it, then you're going to notice there will be some bubbles gonna come. Please make sure to remove these bubbles from the side of your pot or from there. Very gently remove these bubbles. And if you want to get more of this bubbles, in case if you see some stuff is inside your syrup, so mix it really, really well. And as soon as you do that, then look at this. I mix it, and look, there's more bubbles, and I'm able to grab all this other ones that is unwanted bubbles. I don't want them in my syrup. I take them out. You do the same thing when you're making jam or jelly, anything, so you remove the bubbles from it. So now we are gonna let it get thick, and till that time we have to wait. It doesn't matter, maybe it's gonna take 1 hour, it takes half an hour, but it's not before half an hour. So even if your stove is very strong or has a high heat, still you're not gonna get it in half an hour. So at least 1 hour you need to make this syrup. Once when the syrup is ready, make sure you have a very sanitized and clean jars with a very clean and sanitized lid. Then you're gonna store it to that. Do not let it get cold. What I do all the time, as soon as I pour my syrup in the jar, I right away tie it and I keep it on the counter to become cold. So this way it's gonna be nicely sealed. And I had experience before when I did that, and I for some reason I forgot to close it right away, and it became a little bit cold, not completely. And as soon as I close it, and a few weeks or week or 2 weeks later, I noticed the sugar is sitting at the bottom, which we don't want that. And one more thing is in this syrup, as you can see here, I'm adding lemon to it. The reason I'm adding the lemon because when any kind of syrup when you make, when you're adding lemon, so that will avoid cholesterolizing the sugar. So the sugar is not going to be crystal in the bottom of your syrup. So it's really important to add a lemon, and that's the only reason. It's not another. Of course, lemon has lots of good benefits, but we are not adding it for some other kind of reason. We are adding it because we want our syrup to stay thick and nice. So as you can see here, that's getting close, not completely. It's still, like, as you can see, it's a liquidy. It's getting a little bit thick, but not as thick that we want it. So we're gonna let it boil for a few more minutes. Maybe we need, based on what I have here, I think I need another 10 minutes to let this one get thick. Plantain is good for lots of things. If you have a cat in your body and you don't need to use, like I said in my previous video, you don't need to use any other kind of creams. You just put a little bit of cream of oil of plantain on it, and either if you close it or not, the next day we're gonna see it will really gonna heal that cat. It's good for itching, it's good for the rash. You know what, plantain cream is good for the baby's diaper rash too. If you have if your baby has a diaper rash and some of the cream is not working, use the plantain cream. Believe me, you can even buy it if you can make it at home, or you can order it online or whatever. You can have this plantain cream and use it for diaper rash for babies too. So as like I said, my syrup is ready. I strain it and I'm gonna keep it like my bottles already, they're all sanitized. The lid is sanitized, the bottle is sanitized, and I am see there I have my cloves and I have my star anise and I have my cinnamon stick in it, and those are just only to give the flavor or keep the flavor in the syrup. And as we know, they are so good for us too. Cinnamon, cloves, and cardamom or star anise, they're all good for our body. So once when you did this, so we're gonna, what we do, we are going to keep it in our when it's cold completely, we're gonna keep them in our cabinets for the later on use. Of course, during the winter, when you have cold or cough, or you have a flu, you have a digestive problem, you have a bloating problem, or you have the inflammation problem in your joints, this will gonna help you a lot. So I hope you guys are able to make this syrup and use it and do more research, and believe me, this is going to be something that you want to have it in your kitchen cabinets. So after when we are finishing with the syrup, once when I'm putting it on the counter to become cold, we are going to start making our plantain oil. Plantain oil must be made from dry plantain leaves. You cannot add wet or fresh leaves in the oil. To make a plantain oil, you must dry the plantain leaf first. Then you can add them to your oil. People, they use almond oil, they use coconut oil, grape seed oil, and also you can use olive oil. So whatever is convenient and easy, and you can find them close to you, or you don't have to work hard to find these oils, use it. Do not use the regular oil, or you cannot use any other kind of like a regular oils that we see outside. So please do not use that one. So here I have one, two, I think it's all 4 tablespoons of plantain together. It's a dry one completely, and my jar is 500 ml, I think. It's less 300, sorry. This is a 300 ml. So in this, for here, I almost add 5 tablespoons of dry leaves, and I'm gonna fill it with olive oil. Why we are making this oil? This oil, like I said before, it's good for the baby's diaper rash. It's good for any kind of rash you have. You can have, if you have an itching problem in your body, sometime with no reason you start itching yourself, your hand, your feet, it doesn't matter, and any part of your body, you just use this cream for it. It's good for the mosquito bites, it's good for any kind of back bites, for a heat rash. You can use this oil, keep them outside for 5 to 7 weeks, then you're able to start using this cream. I want to thank you guys so much for sharing your time with me again, and I hope the video that you received today or you see today was very beneficial for you guys, and I hope you're able to make the syrup and oil at home. And please make sure that you leave a comment and subscribe to my channel and share this with your friend and family. Thank you so much for watching my video.